everyone, it's Diego here, back with another episode of Fluent Casts. Today, I'm recording from Lima, Peru, just before I hop on my plane back home. I've had an amazing trip here during our school recess, and I can't wait to share my experiences with you all. So, let's dive into what makes Peru such a unique and fascinating place. And as always, I'll be tying in some English learning tips along the way, so keep your ears open for those. First off, let's talk about culture and food. You know, when you think about Peruvian cuisine, one of the first things that comes to mind is ceviche. And let me tell you, the ceviche here is out of this world. The freshness of the fish, the tanginess of the lime, the kick from the chili, it's a perfect combination. It's quite different from what you'd find in American cuisine, which often leans more towards comfort foods like burgers and fries. And compared to Brazilian food, well, Brazilian cuisine is very diverse, but it tends to be heavier. Think feijoada and churrasco. Peruvian food, on the other hand, feels a bit lighter and has a lot of influences from indigenous ingredients and Spanish cuisine. One dish that stood out to me was lomo saltado, a stir fry that mixes beef, tomatoes, and onions with soy sauce and spices, served with both fries and rice. It's this incredible fusion that really shows how Peruvian culture blends different influences together. Now, here's a great opportunity to practice some food-related vocabulary. Terms like stir-fry, ingredients, and fusion are useful to know. Try using them in your next conversation about food. Moving on to the cultural side of things, Peru is a country with a rich history and is visible everywhere you go. I spent a day exploring Machu Picchu, and let me tell you, it was breathtaking. The sheer scale of the ruins, the precision of the stonework, and the stunning mountain backdrop. It's just awe-inspiring. You can really feel the presence of the Inca civilization and their advanced understanding of architecture and astronomy. Speaking of history, I also visited the Nazca lines. These are massive geoglyphs in the desert, and their purpose is still a bit of a mystery. Some people think they were astronomical calendars or religious sites. And yes, there are even theories about aliens being involved. It's kind of fun to think about, right? The lines are best seen from the air. So I took a small plane ride to get a good view. The hummingbird, the spider, the monkey. These shapes are so precise, it's hard to believe they were made so long ago without modern tools. For those of you learning English, take note of words like geoglyphs, astronomy, and precision. These are great examples of more advanced vocabulary that can really help you sound more fluent. Well, as for the current situation in Peru, the economy is doing fairly well, especially compared to some of its neighbors. Tourism is a big part of the economy, and you can see why. The country is incredibly diverse, from the Amazon rainforest to the Andes Mountains to the coastal regions. However, there are still challenges. Poverty and inequality remain significant issues, and the political landscape is quite conservative, especially in terms of social values. But, interestingly, Peru last elections voted for a change, and now Peru is presided by a politician who leans more towards progressive ideals. This has brought some hope for change, but it's also created a lot of tension. There are strong conservative groups in the country that prefer more traditional and authoritarian approaches, which is quite a contrast to my own beliefs. It's been fascinating to see how this dynamic plays out and what it means for the future of the country. Safety-wise, I felt pretty secure during my trip, but like any country, there are areas you need to be cautious about. Petty crime can be an issue, especially in crowded tourist spots, so it's always good to stay vigilant. But overall, the people are incredibly friendly and welcoming. They take great pride in their heritage and are always eager to share their culture with visitors. One thing that really struck me was the sense of history and tradition that permeates everyday life here. From the colorful textiles of the Andean villages to the bustling markets of Lima, there's a strong connection to the past that you can feel everywhere. It's a stark contrast to the fast-paced, often future-focused culture in America. In Brazil, there's also a deep sense of tradition, but it's blended with a more laid-back, celebratory vibe. Peru feels a bit more grounded, if that makes sense. Oh, and before I forget, I have to mention the pisco sours. This iconic Peruvian cocktail is made with pisco, lime juice, simple syrup, egg white, and bitters. It's delicious and very refreshing. It's similar to Brazil's caipirinha, but with a distinct twist that makes it uniquely Peruvian. Trying local drinks is such a fun way to get a taste of the culture, quite literally. Here's another language tip. When talking about food and drinks, try to use descriptive adjectives like refreshing, delicious, or tangy. It makes your descriptions more vivid and engaging. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Well, traveling to Peru has been an eye-opening experience. It's given me a deeper appreciation for the complexity of cultures, the richness of history, and the ongoing challenges that countries face as they navigate the future. Whether it's through the delicious food, the awe-inspiring monuments, or the vibrant everyday life, Peru has so much to offer. It's a place where the past and present coexist in fascinating ways, and it's definitely worth a visit. If you're thinking about traveling here, I'd say go for it. Immerse yourself in the culture, try the local dishes, explore the historical sites, and don't be afraid to engage with the locals. You'll come away with a deeper understanding of not just Peru, but also how interconnected our world is. And who knows, you might even solve the mystery of the Nazca lines, or at least come up with your own theory. Well, it looks like I gotta head towards the airport, so I'll have to wrap this up. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I hope you found it as fascinating as I did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of your understanding. This is Diego, signing off from Lima. Take care, everyone. See you in the next episode. Safe travels.